Alright, so I've had a bunch of questions or people asking me about the Wavebox that I built and how or where I found plans or anything. I didn't find plans for it. I started out with an original Tunzi Nano Wavebox, the 6206.200 I believe. That's the pump that's in there, by the way. This is the original Wavebox, or what's left of it anyway. I cut it down to make the casing for the pump now. But when I started out with it, if you can imagine it, it had a full-size box and then the hole in the front, which was set at the very bottom of the box. So I took the original Wavebox and set it inside the tank to the height that I wanted, which was basically right at the top of the glass. And then I marked the depth of the hole, or the depth of the pump inside the tank. Once that was done, I knew exactly what height my bulkhead had to be at. My bulkhead is set right now at the same height that the pump was originally set inside of the Nano Wavebox. Once that was done, I had to make sure that I had enough room for my pump to be mounted inside. I mounted the pump inside of a casing that I made out of the original casing for the Nano Wavebox, and then glued the magnet to the back side of it, and then was still able to attach it to the back side of the tank. As far as it goes, or how it looks, it's just basically formed around it. So all I ended up doing was just forming the plastic box, just heating and forming the plastic around it until it was a solid casing for it. And then I glued the magnet to the back. Once I knew all of that, once I did all of that, I then figured out the size of the bulkhead that I needed. I ended up using an 1.5 inch bulkhead with a piece of PVC inside. I used 2-slip bulkhead, and then just ground down the inner lip on the inside so I could slide the PVC the whole way through. That just gave me a nice fit on the impeller of the pump, and worked out really well. Once that was all done, because I had the depth of the bulkhead already set to the height of the Wavebox to begin with, the Wavebox now had essentially the same water volume in terms of height. I made it twice as wide as the original, just because I needed to get around the width of the bulkhead and still be able to silicone it. The width of the box that I have right now was just simply to accommodate the size of the bulkhead. It wasn't really mathematical in any way. I just I knew that my water volume was already more than it would have been originally, so making it the size I did was just out of convenience. The depth went a little lower, again just for convenience, so that I could silicone it in place. As far as the width of the box goes, that was measured, and the reason for that was to accommodate the pump in the smallest area possible, because it will be sitting on my desk and I didn't want it that far forward. So I needed to accommodate everything in the smallest space possible, and putting the depth at 3.5 inches wide by 4.5 this way by just under 9.5 gave me lots of room to deal with and work with, and still be able to get my pump and magnets and everything else inside of there. I didn't find plans for it anywhere. I just kind of started, and it started taking shape around itself, and yeah.